What is up, woke family? It's your boy Wokey Bucks, and I'm back again with another live stream. So, the topic that I'll be discussing this live stream today is in regards to entrepreneur talk, right? Why having a good credit score is very important. The one thing that we have to discuss in this video is that having a good credit score is very important because a good credit score is going to determine whether you're going to be able to get a lease or be able to get a good car or not be able to get a good car, move into an apartment or not move into an apartment, right? Move into a house and get a mortgage on the house or not move into a house and not get a mortgage on the house. People have to understand that between the years of, especially as a man, right? This video is mainly for men, but women as well too can also be included, but this is mainly for men, right? Between the ages of 18 and 25, 26 are the prime years for you to be able to self-improve. And part of the process of self-improvement is building your credit score, right? So if you decide to buy something on credit with a credit card, right, or something within that nature of using credit, you want to pay it off as quickly as you possibly can. Let me repeat that again. If you're going to use credit to purchase something, preferably small, right? Because you want to be able to use credit to purchase something that you know that you have the money to be able to pay back within a certain period of time. And usually, if you use your credit to buy something, you usually have a 30-day period to be able to pay it off before you eventually end up getting charged interest. And then from there, it decreases your credit score because you didn't pay it off in time. But my advice to you is that if you're going to use credit, you want to be able to pay it off with actual cash within a week of you using the credit, right? So let me make it a little bit more clear. Let me pay it off in order to core with every single purchase you make. So the more purchases you make with credit and the faster you pay it off, the more you're increasing your credit score. And trust me, that credit score that you have is going to be very, very vital when it comes to making either a down payment on a car, leasing a car, getting an apartment, or even buying your own house, right? These are important, especially as a man between the ages of 18 to 25. And if you're older as well too, this definitely applies to you, right? But this is mainly for the younger dudes, right? You have to understand that this is the time for you to be able to build your credit score. Your credit score is going to be very, very important because without good credit, it's going to be hard for you to be able to do things that people with a lot more status and money as they get older would be able to do easily. Credit gives you that barrier to be able to be breakable, right? Credit is that barrier that is basically broken, right? With credit, you're able to do a lot more things. Like I said, you're able to get the car you want, right? Especially if you have good credit. You're able to move into the apartment that you want to move into. You're able to get the house that you're able to move into. You're able to make monthly payments on certain things that if you didn't have good credit, you wouldn't be able to make monthly payments on. So your best bet is to really do as much as you possibly can in order to be able to maintain a good credit score. And some might say, well, Bucks, what is a good credit score, right? A good credit score is going to be a credit score of 800 and above, right? If you can put yourself in a category of having an 800 credit score above, you're going to separate yourself from 90% of the human population because 90% of the human population does not have a good credit score, right? So you definitely want to put yourself to be in the top 90%, right? Or the top 10%, my bad. You want to put yourself to be part of the top 10%. That is not going to happen if you're not focused on your credit, if you're not trying to elevate your credit score, if you're not focusing on paying off the purchases that you use credit to buy with cash within a week. These things are heavily pivotal when it comes to you being successful with credit, especially here in this country of the United States, or even in other countries, right? Other developed countries in the world, right? You have Canada, you have the UK, you have Australia, you have other countries, right? You definitely want to focus on how you can be able to level up when it comes to building your credit because a lot of people don't get advice as they're younger on what it takes to be able to have a good credit score because they're not taught about money in school. The one thing that school fails to do is to teach you about money because the thing is that school is meant to keep you at a lower vibration because they want you to be a higher level employee. So when they want you to be a higher level employee, they're going to do everything in their power to not teach you about money because they realize that once you learn about money, you're putting yourself to be in the top 10% of men or top 10% of women, which is becoming an entrepreneur in order to be able to liberate yourself financially from having to work a 9 to 5 job. But that's not what school does. School teaches you to do the opposite. They want you to be a higher level employee But at the end of the day, you realize that a lot of these higher level employees, they have a lot of money problems, right? They don't know how to read a financial statement. They don't know the difference between the checks and balances. They don't know how to manage their money out properly. They're living paycheck to paycheck. Even as a higher level employee, you would think that with more money, that you know how to manage your money better, but they don't know how to manage their money well because they were never taught about how to manage money. They were never taught about money. That is the reality of the situation. Therefore, being taught about money is heavily pivotal when it comes to your success as a human being. Having a good credit score is in this situation, right? Because you're going to realize that your credit is going to be able to put you at a higher standard than those who have money, right? But if you do the right things when it comes to you paying off your credit bill on time, your credit card payment, right? Keeping your purchases low, and then from there, if you're going to use credit on a higher payment, you still pay off your payments as soon as possible, right? You're going to put yourself in a position that's going to be able to help you elevate and rise. But you realize that at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to make those higher level purchases if you can't even make the smaller purchases now, right? And pay off those bills. So these things are heavily pivotal in your success as a person, right? As an entrepreneur, even as a working class employee. But this is mainly entrepreneur talk, right? Because most of the working employees are not going to want to do what it takes in order to be able to level up, so they can be able to have good credit. Because most working employees have a credit score of 600 or below. They have struggling credit. Why? Because they were never taught about money, what it takes to be able to maintain money. But on this channel, we're going to talk about it because we're entrepreneurs trying to level up, trying to improve, trying to transition. If you are from being an employee to an entrepreneur, but you have to have the right mindset, right? And for those who are in transition from becoming an employee to an entrepreneur, go back and watch a previous video on why 50% of businesses fail, small businesses fail within the first 5 to 10 years, right? Because there's certain things that you're not taught about in school, especially when it comes to cooperation. Like for instance, in school, you're taught that if you cooperate with somebody when it comes to exams and tests and stuff, it's cheating. But in real life, you realize that if you don't cooperate with people and work together, you're not going to be as wealthy as you would be working by yourself. That is why a lot of small businesses fail as well too. Because the thing is that a lot of people go into small businesses with the mentality that I'm going to do everything by myself. You're not going to be successful in this life if you do everything by yourself. You need help from other people in order to be able to accomplish things that you would have just accomplished by yourself, which is called scaling. These things are important in order for you to be able to level up and succeed. But it's not going to happen if you don't have the mentality behind it. So with that being said, when it comes to you developing good credit, you definitely want to make sure that you have a credit score of an 800 or above. How is that going to be able to develop and improve? You start off with making small purchases with that credit card. Within a week of you making that small purchase, you pay off your credit card with actual cash. You can either mail in a check, you can either pay it online, pay off that credit card bill as soon as possible. Then from there, you start increasing your purchases. So for instance, if you're making a $20 purchase with a credit card, and then within a week later, you're paying back the $20, up that price from $20 to $50, then from 50 to 100. Then from there, as you start leveling up in the amounts of money you're spending with that credit card, and you're still paying it off within the same amount of time a week, in your eyes, you're going to show the credit card company or the credit card companies that you're heavily reliable when it comes to paying off your credit. Therefore, they're going to increase your credit limit. They're going to increase your credit score. And then from there, when you decide to go for the big purchases, like I said, a car, an apartment, or a house, they're going to be able to see that you are credit worthy and you're credit reliable. Therefore, they're going to make it easier for you to be able to get the things that you want because you've shown them over the small and medium purchases that you can handle it. So they'll think in their mind that you're able to handle the bigger purchases. So you definitely want to put yourself in a position in order to be able to develop and create a higher credit score for yourself so you can be able to get the things that you want later on down the line, especially when you need them. You understand? Even though one would say, why would you confuse wants and needs? Right? You're gonna eventually end up wanting to move out of your house, especially if you live with your parents and move into your own place. You're gonna need a good credit score to do that, or you're gonna need a lot of money. Right? Most men between the ages of 18 to 25 are not rolling in a lot of cash unless you did something to separate yourself for your trust fund baby, which most men are. Therefore, you're gonna have to build your value by making sure that you're building your credit up so you can be able to use your credit as an asset to you instead of having to be a liability, which basically means all you're doing is paying back money all the time, right? Build your credit in order to be able to separate yourself from the remaining 90% of the population and become part of the top 10% of the population. If you understand, it's because you're woke. If you don't understand, you're not woke. This is gonna be in this live stream. If you like this live stream, make sure you go spam that like button, leave comments, share this live stream with your friends, subscribe to the channel at Wokeebucks, WOKEEBUKS, and tap the notification bell to get all the latest videos that I post. Patreon link will be down in the description below with some social media links. So make sure we'll give those a check. Without further ado, this is gonna be in this live stream. This is Wokeebucks, and I'm out, man.